let me introduce myself and my teaching experience. I'm an economist. For more than 20 years, I'm involved in teaching. I taught and teach students at all levels: undergraduate, postgraduate, PhD, full-time and part-time students, young talents, and executives. I'm teaching Hong Kong local students, but also students from other parts of Asia and Europe. The subjects I teach today are closely related to my main research areas. That is, I teach aviation-related topics such as airport management, aviation finance, and air transport economics. I like to interact with the students in class. I further like to help them understand the value of abstract thinking and train them in practicing abstract thinking. Importantly, I frequently invite aviation professionals as guest speakers. Such guest speakers help the students understand that the topics discussed in class are real issues of concern for aviation businesses. For instance, this is Andrew Charlton, the General Manager of Aviation Advocacy based in Geneva, Switzerland, talking to the students in class.
In the 1970s, we worked out that we were about to run out of airports, right? So the airlines, through IATA, invented a system. But it was invented by IATA for IATA.
Let me be more specific about my approach to teaching. One dimension in which university education distinguishes itself crucially from vocational training is, I believe, that we challenge our students' abilities to understand the benefit of abstract thinking and push them so that they can develop their ability to apply abstract thinking later in their professional career. A great example illustrating the benefits of abstract thinking is Hong Kong's MTR map. It clearly describes Hong Kong in the most abstract way by only providing the information needed to get from one station to the other. It avoids displaying any other information. And this is extremely useful because this helps us to easily find the information needed for managing our trip by MTR. When I talk about airports in class, I will use examples of airports which are as abstract as the MTR map. The benefit is that this helps us concentrating on what's relevant for the airport management topic at hand. Remember that markets are composed of the demand and the supply side. Here's the example of an airport with only 2 passengers forming the demand side. The supply side is simply captured by the mentioning of the airport's cost per passenger. Observe that airlines are not mentioned at all. This may seem awkward to you, but to keep things simple, abstracting from airlines is intentional. As an economist, one of my favorite topics is, of course, pricing. Airport pricing clearly is a highly complex topic, yet we can use a set of abstract airport environments to illustrate the underlying fundamental drivers of airport pricing in the real world. For instance, to illustrate that profit-maximizing airports may overcharge from the policy point of view, it is sufficient to consider our 2-passenger scenario and leave airlines entirely out of the picture. Did you know that airports earn a large proportion of their revenues and profits from offering car parking, car rental, food and beverages, and other commercial services? The mentioned 2-passenger example is extremely nice because it is so simple that it can easily be expanded to capture the presence of airport commercial businesses. After a slight variation of the example, it is possible to even analyze the pricing of both aeronautical services such as runway use and commercial services such as car rental services together with price regulation. Even without getting into the details of the table, I hope that this still helps you develop a feeling on how one highly abstract framework can be used to develop a rich set of insights about a whole range of topics related to pricing and price regulation. Students like to hear from aviation professionals, so they enjoy the talks by guest lecturers. Abstract thinking is, however, a challenge. Students and others, including practitioners, are sometimes or even often skeptical. They may think that real-world problems are so much more complex and therefore such abstractions or simplifications cannot lead to practical insights. This criticism misses an important point, which is that Really big problems cannot be solved all at once. To make progress, it helps to chop the big problem into a set of smaller problems and then to solve them step by step. Abstract thinking is a method which does exactly this. It can be used to chop the big problem into problems which should be small enough so that they become tractable for the analyst. So by solving one small problem after the other, we can then get to the point in which we get a much better and detailed understanding of the real issues causing the problems, which is the foundation for producing solutions. I hope that with my teaching, I can help my students get in touch with aviation professionals, understand the bigger picture of how aviation markets work, and help them to successfully solve big problems in their future professional career.